Yasin Alawi Ismaili, by Yasmin Aki. September 17 at 6 a.m. Voices of African Photography is a 10-part series presented in partnership with the African Photojournalism Database, a joint project of Everyday Africa and World Press Photo, to highlight the work of 10 African photographers and photojournalists. When I'm working in a situation like this, I try to show not only the scale of the material destruction, but also its effect on people's lives. At times something that may appear mundane under normal circumstances, when seen against the backdrop of unimaginable destruction, can help put life and death in perspective, so we can begin to comprehend the horror of war. Moroccan-born photographer Yasin Alawi Ismaili, also known as Urias, is no stranger to the Casablanca street scene. As a teenager, Urias became passionate about hip-hop and joined the first wave of breakdancers in Morocco in 1980s. While traveling to international competitions, he came equipped with his camera to document the journey with his dance crew. But following a serious knee injury, breakdancing at the same pace was no longer an option. Instead, Urias took to the streets, the very same streets he would spend hours performing on with his friends, and began documenting his hometown, Casablanca. Urias recalled introducing himself as a Casablanca native to strangers around the world when traveling to dance competitions, to which they would reply Casablanca, like the movie. This repetitive encounter ignited Urias' desire to offer a glimpse of the Morocco he knows, which is far from the glamour of the Hollywood studio where Casablanca, the 1942 classic, was filmed. The photo series Casablanca, not the movie, was thus born. Urias' presents a love letter to his city for all of those who want to see a truthful representation of Casablanca in Morocco, he says. Independently from this series, Urias also captures scenes around Morocco, such as in Essaouira for the Nawa Music Festival, during which he experimented with flash photography on the outskirts of the festival, where street life and the Nawa music's rhythm would blend into one. As an African photographer, Urias believes there is still work to do in terms of getting African photographers' work attention in the international photography scene. I think we should question the way the world looks at and thinks about Africa, Urias says. He is interested in seeing more documentary, street and daily photography from African photographers in an effort to elevate local narratives. When asked about the photography scene throughout the continent, Urias told Insight that initially his photos were not welcome in many African photography festivals and magazines, and he relied instead on social media to share his work. Recently though, Urias' playful eye has been recognized by numerous publications, galleries and festivals around the world, enabling his work to travel around Europe, the African continent and the United States. His photos will be displayed in the foreseen New Narratives from the African Photojournalism Database container exhibit in this year's Photoville in New York. Back home, Urias was invited by his mentor, the Moroccan photographer Hassan Hadjidj, to present his work in Hadjidj's Ride Yima in Marrakesh as part of the 154 Contemporary African Art Fair in February 2018. At Ride Yima, Urias also performed to live Nawa music with his camera, rendering his own version of breakdance Nawa, a contemporary